So a good change of bowling for South Africa.
How long before Sterling decides it's time to hunt for some boundaries?
That was the right shot, wasn't it? It just didn't come on as quickly as Sterling was expecting. Really short. He'll be really annoyed with himself. He missed out there. He nearly went too square, didn't he? He needed to hit that over wide long on. It was so slow.
Tembavuma realising that that might be an area that Sterling might target, so deep square leg has gone back.
Interesting decision from Paul Sterling after the last ball to run at that one, but Petlicoyo straying down leg side. He's just been struggling of late.
They're trying to possibly just push it into the vacant square leg gap and turn the strike over. It's like it when Sterling stands still and looks to aim straight. Mid off and mid on up. It's got to be his area.
Well worked from Sterling into the leg side. He's a very specific way of playing that you wouldn't be teaching around the place, but yeah, to get down the other end. Completely agree with you as well. Love to see Paul Sterling just staying still, not overthinking things. He starts running at the bowler and can get himself into all sorts of trouble.
The games aren't always won in the first 10 overs, but they can be lost. And you look at the way Ireland have gone about this, known to international cricket for a while. They've been playing domestic cricket, which has to be said is slightly different from facing Rabada and Ngidi on a weekend. So you'd have to say that it's been a mature start.
Yeah, well, I thought Niall was spot on earlier when he spoke about the first 10 overs. Make sure you get in the game. Try and make sure you get out of the first power play unscathed, and that's what Porterfield and Sterling have done so far.
Well worked again by Porterfield. Plays that shot really well. Anything that's vaguely straight has the ability, like most left-handers, to nudge it onto the leg side. Easy singles on offer at the moment. Not many boundaries though, and knowing Sterling in particular, who we know can really bludgeon an attack when he wants to. I've seen him at his best. He played many years at Middlesex and decided to forego his county stint for his country island.
Another single to Sterling. It's an odd field that they've got. South Africa, massive gaps on the leg side for both Porterfield and Sterling, and I'm not sure it's the right call for Sterling, if I'm honest. He's not used to being on 12 of 32 deliveries. Why not keep on putting the pressure on? Make him hit his way out, because he's the big wicket. If he manages to get one or two away, then drop the field. It's just too early for me.
Oh, just evading everything there. Chops him in half, and I think they're going to get 4 byes. I don't think nothing on that. So that'll bring up a boundary. Another one for Ireland, not coming that often, so they'll take anything they can get at the moment. This just jags back and cuts them in half, and delivery from Petlicoyo, just getting a little bit of movement.
Yeah, wicketkeeper's nightmare there for Kyle Verreynne. Comes into the team in place of South Africa's #1 wicketkeeper.
Good shot from Porterfield. Probably the first we've seen that's really taken the attack to them. That's the end of the over. A very good shot. Ends the over, 40 for no wicket off 11 overs. Overs gone, 40 for no wicket. It's been a Very good start. And just before the break, Porterfield hit a cracking shot through the offside to end the over. First sign of dominance from the Irish batsman.
Yeah, he's worked hard, Porterfield. He'll be delighted to play a shot like that coming out of the first power play. A bit of a freer over for Ireland. A couple of boundaries. One was byes. One was that beautiful shot you mentioned, and a couple of singles. So South Africa just letting the pressure off a tiny bit. Ngidi will want to get that back on. He's bowling his 6th from the Daffy News end.
South Africa hunting for a wicket.
Just looks like the feet are moving a little bit more easily for Sterling now, doesn't it? He got a few singles last over. Just looks a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, this is the shot we were talking about. Slightly short and wide, and Porterfield very strong. A little bit of width. Cuts that with a lot of power and authority. Will make him feel good. Didn't play very well against the Netherlands. Struggled for runs. He's played well domestically, and looks like he's bringing that form into the first one.
Bit of a slap into the offside from Paul Sterling. Just shows how slowly that ball is bouncing off the pitch. Yeah, Porterfield mental strength is something that we know he's got in spades. He used to be the Ireland captain. And I think it was, people were talking about him retiring probably too early. Even when he was still captain, everyone thought he should be out of the team after just a couple of low scores. So good to see that he has the strength and the mind to keep going. He says he'll play for as long as his body lets him.
Gidi's, I don't know, from coming over the wicket, he's going to come around the wicket now to William Porterfield. Still one slip in place. Favour the bowling attack slightly. There's cloud condition to work with. There's a bit of rain around, but at the moment it's staying away.
Yeah, I think this is a good decision from Ngidi coming around Porterfield. Try and bowl in at his stumps. He does tend to get into a bit of trouble with his head outside the line of the ball, so he is an LBW candidate if he does end up falling over a little bit.
Yeah, just going back to South Africa's start, Sterling, hasn't quite found the middle of the bat yet. He's just struggling for timing, and just feel that South Africa missed a chance there. Really get the ball attacking the stumps more. There were a lot of deliveries that batsmen are allowed to leave.
Yeah, I think Porterfield looked really comfortable letting the ball go, having the ball come across him, and anything that was hitting the stumps, he knew was pitching outside leg stump. So LBW now in play. Really well bowled from Ngidi. Just gets that one to move away a touch and gets Porterfield playing at it.
Yeah, it's not just the LBW though. It's Ngidi will try his hardest to do exactly this. Just stand the ball up, and that's exactly what he's done. It's an absolute beauty. Play that. Angled in at all stump, and goes away. And that's the kind of delivery that South Africa will want to do more of. They've bowled some good deliveries, but they haven't been followed up time and time again.
Yeah, just a little bit too wide there, but he's got the length now, Ngidi. Porterfield looks a little bit more unhappy with him coming around the wicket. Must be difficult to be an ODI captain, having played so few games as Temba Bavuma, just the 9 ODIs under his belt.
Yeah, relatively young captain. Quinton de Kock was doing the job, and he's gone back to just focusing on batting, which seems to be a good decision. And there we go. That's what he wants. On his knees, and that's the end of the over. 41 for no wicket. Good over from Ngidi, the last one, inducing a couple of false strokes from the left-hander, Porterfield, who's made a good start to the day, 20 or 38. Sterling, on the other hand, is looking for timing. Hasn't quite got it yet.
Well, Petlicoeo, he's got the ball to move. Last over, he bowled one gem straight over the stumps and went for 4 byes, but he's someone that Sterling won't mind facing on this wicket a little bit slow. Here's that delivery we were talking about, just gets it to move away a little bit in Ngidi and draws Porterfield into the shot. You can see his expression there, he's not happy with himself for having played at it.
Yeah, and I just think from a left-hander's perspective, I don't see him changing his position on the crease. I'd like to see him move further over, cover off stump, and to hit that a lot straighter.
It's a good length from Petlicoeo. On other pitches that would be far too full, but just coming off the wicket a little bit slowly, as we've mentioned before. Sterling just gets on the inside half of the bat.
Yeah, and I was just saying that Petlicoeo might be his type of wicket, and it's no disrespect to him, but the pace that he bowls is more conducive to perhaps the sort of club wicket that we have here at Malahide.
Misses out. Sometimes when you're being watchful, when the bad ball comes, you're just not ready for it. Well, one of the reasons why we have different types of bowlers is because there are different conditions. You can't have just 5 fast bowlers, right? So it's a good inclusion from Petlicoeo.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody will pitch the ball up, try and get a catch on the drive. No slip now, and Ngidi's off the field. Good fielding. South Africa, we know how good they are in the field. Always expect a South African team to be good in the field. Markram making the good work behind point there. A little dab from Sterling.
You just wonder at them not running though, right? Full stretch dive. He's taken 5 steps to his left. I'm not sure he's running Porterfield out from there, but understandable.
Definitely a single there, there's no doubt about it. As good as South Africa's reputation are in the field, you sort of feel that that's something that Porterfield could have done, could have called him through, would have been his call.
Yeah, I always complain about batters high-fiving in the middle and then going back to the end they started. It's just a bit of a lack of understanding, possibly a bit of the fear factor about South Africa's dominance in the field. And a good over so far from Petlicoeo. He's picked up the length well in his second over.
And this is straight up. David Miller, he's under the ball and he won't drop that. And Sterling's innings, although he hit a couple of good shots, didn't quite get going. He's out for 13. That's the end of the 13th over. It's 41 for the loss of 1.
Yeah, didn't get himself in a good position here. As Paul Sterling looked to go too square again. It was just moving a tiny bit away from him. Probably should have been looking to hit that down the ground. It's held in the air for a long time, but David Miller barely had to move. Big wicket of Paul Sterling. He's gone for 13. Ireland 41 for 1.
Yay! Use the word clubby. I was like, clubby. No disrespect to new batsman Andy Balbirnie, the Irish captain, 30 years of age, played a lot of matches now, got a lot of experience, averaging in the mid-30s, so it's come of age a little bit. And with the new batsman is a new bowler, Keshav Maharaj, very impressive left-arm spinner for South Africa, really come into his own over the last 3 or 4 years as South Africa's premium spinner.
Yeah, he's so good to watch, isn't he? Beautiful action. Really good spin attack for South Africa. William Porterfield heard something in the background. He wasn't happy, so sends the bowler back.
Good stop, boy.
There's that wicket again. Just catches it on the bottom of the bat. He knew straight away, Paul Stirling. Dave Miller doesn't drop those ones.
Great shot, reverse sweep from Porterfield. Second ball, he's laying some intent early on the spin of Maharaj. It's a good shot early on, isn't it? Really, really difficult to bowl to.
Yeah, well, when you can sweep well, you can really open up different angles. Just the one fielder behind point on the offside for William Porterfield. It's a really good option, and Maharaj didn't like that one. Hands straight on the hips.
Oh, okay, boy.
He had a feeling he expected a bit more from Rabada. He's fielding at backward point. I don't think Rabada was expecting a reverse sweep so early.
Ball cachet.
This time taking the single. Yeah, it is unusual, but these days anything goes. First shot, second shot, reverse sweep. No one really looks twice. Yanuman Malan.
Yeah, it's been great watching white ball cricket evolve, hasn't it? Watching England play yesterday, a young England team who beat Pakistan, and just look at the way that these young players come into teams now. There's no fear. They're happy to play shots that wouldn't have dreamt of 5 or 10 years ago.
Oh, ball boy. Ball cash.
Andy Balbirnie off the mark. Shows his intent. He's straight into his work with the single into the offside. Really well worked that. Just angled the bat to push it out to that boundary fielder in the cover.
Maharaj's last ball induces a slightly false stroke from William Porterfield, and Ireland 47 for 1 ends the 15th over.
Andy Balbirnie off the mark with his first ball faced. Irish captain replacing Paul Stirling. Never really got going. O'Brien is with me in the commentary box for the first time today. Disappointment for the crowd here as well. They obviously came to see a bit of fireworks from Paul Stirling, but he never really got going out there, did he?
Yeah, good afternoon, John. Afternoon, everybody. Paul Stirling was very watchful today, never got going. On the other hand, William Porterfield has looked very, very good. Got into his wicket, into his work nicely. Captain Balbirnie, who's had a fairly quiet 12 months or so by his usual high standards, he'll be happy with the start. Very good start, inserted on difficult conditions. I think Ireland have been pretty good so far.
Nice shot from Balbirnie, straight down the ground. It's going to beat the captain, and it's going to roll away for his first boundary. An intent early on from the captain, Porterfield, and the half century is up.
Yeah, very nice shot. Nice confidence booster for Andrew Balbirnie. Gets in a good position. Very simple technique, stands tall, loves driving the ball to half volley. It was asked to be put away. Right in the slot, right off the meat of the bat. Really good start from Balbirnie.
That's the area of the ground really that they can get their runs, the shortest boundaries. Here, Andy Balbirnie, Irish captain in all 3 formats of the game, played for Glamorgan in their T20 Blast, next to Middlesex himself. 17 appearances now for Balbirnie. Playing out there in the middle with the ex-captain, William Porterfield, who's done all right, 25 of 43. We're expecting a lot of fireworks from Paul Sterling. Sadly, from the Irish point of view, it didn't happen.
No!
Well, Bernie's been in fine nick recently, not just on the international level, but also in the Interpro series as well.
He looked a little bit out of sorts in the Netherlands until that unbeaten innings that saw Ireland over the line in their solitary victory in Utrecht. 5 before, had a difficult time at Glamorgan. Played the county championship early season. The UK really struggled, but he's had a good start here.
Six centuries for Andy Balbirnie. His appearances to date, 11 of those 50s as well. And it has been the criticism really of the Irish team that there's nobody to back up the likes of Balbirnie and Paul Sterling at the top of the order. And Porterfield has been alluded to it all morning, has shown good form in the domestic form of the game. Based on 145, he's a class player and a natural leader as well, Andy Balbirnie. Big appeal. Not out. That's the end of that over. 15 down. Ireland 15.